Hey, what's good everyone? So in today's video, I'm gonna be responding or answering one of my Instagram followers' messages, okay? So let me pull this up really quick. I get a lot of DMs on my Instagram asking how to do this and asking how to do that. So I said, why don't I just make a quick little video and answer this? This young lady, her name is London, so this one's for you, London. Okay, she asked a couple of different questions. Here's the first question, okay. When shooting, I go in to shoot and I tend to drop my stick too far back and then the ball comes out. So how do we solve that? We'll talk about that in a second. The second question, catching on the move under pressure. When I'm in a 1v1 situation, I tend to tense up and jab at the ball instead of ease my stick back to catch. We'll talk about that. And then question number 3, knowing when to cut and perform certain dodges, moves. When I'm around the 8, I don't know when to cut. When I'm going in for the cut, I almost get lost. I lose focus on the ball and just focus on getting through. When approaching the defender, I don't know which side to go or what move to perform. So, London, this one is for you. You know, I wanted to make a video about this because this is a very common thing I get asked about all the time. And so we're gonna be talking about the first one, running in towards cage and then dropping the ball on the way there. It's a very common issue. So how do we solve that? Well, let's get into it. All right, let's start walking. We're gonna come on down here. Good ball. Now, when we're talking about how do we keep the ball in our stick, you know, right before shooting and dropping it too far back, I think there's a couple of things to consider. Number one, what does our cradle look like? If you have really good handles and you can cradle, I don't think you're gonna see that problem too much. You're gonna be able to gather cradle and you can drop it back. Another consideration you have to have is your stick pocket. Your stick head. I'm using the Gait Whip, so it does allow me to hold the ball in just a little bit longer because of the way it's been constructed. So you got to ask yourself, you know, what kind of pocket do you have? How good are your handles? I think those are the first two things, but let's just solve that really quick. So let's just say I'm running in and I'm going 100 miles an hour and my stick comes right here. Is that okay? Will the ball drop out? Notice how I'm still kind of like cradling right here. We could take that kind of gather cradle. Now, a gather cradle is not like a big old cradle like this. A gather cradle is kind of like just to get that ball right into the sweet spot. So let's just say I do a move and I'm coming back. See how that ball is kind of just like gather cradling right there? I don't have to do that too much, but that is an idea so that when I go in for the shot, it looks like that. I can put that shot where I want it to be. So that's number one, okay? More cradling, and then consider your pocket. And the thing about it too is you have to do this over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. I mean, I would suggest taking, you know, anywhere between 500 to 1,000 shots per week to really master this skill. All right, so just one more thing about the first question that we talked about is, you know, I run in, I drop the ball. One of the things that I see players do a lot, especially when they're barely learning how to cradle, run super fast and shoot, is they do this. And let's come on this side. Actually, I'll show you on this side. They'll come in and they'll get ready to shoot and they'll dip back and the ball will drop out just like that. So here's how we fix that. Here's a quick drill. We want to keep our stick up just like this as much as we can. We don't want to really do this because that's when the ball falls out, and sometimes we have that natural inclination to just do that on the shot. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start right here with one hand on our stick. We're going to keep our stick at this kind of angle right here. We're not going to keep it right here. I mean, you can, but just for today's purposes and learning this skill, we're going to keep it right here. Now, all we're going to do is run in and shoot. Now, you can go at this angle, you can go straight in, but we're just going to work on keeping our stick up. So we're going to start just like this with the walk, get our hand, and fire. And that's just going to really work on getting our hands up and keeping them back. The other thing that I see is that we get T-Rex arms sometimes, and you don't want T-Rex arms. You're not a T-Rex, right? Or an alligator. We don't want T-Rex arms, we don't want alligator arms, we don't want any of that stuff. We want our arms to be up and off of our body. Now, that doesn't mean it's always gonna be back here. Sometimes it could be right here that we're shooting from. Sometimes it's right here, but we don't wanna be like this, super tight. So again, we're gonna get our arm up just like this. Notice how my top hand is towards the middle of the stick. That's probably gonna be your most consistent shot. If it's like right here, you're gonna get a lot of power, but you might lose some accuracy. So again, we're right here, and Patricia can join me in this one after my shot. I'm gonna walk, get my bottom hand on it, and fire. Let's see it for Patricia. Good. Now, Patricia stopped walking on it. I would encourage her to just keep walking on that shot, and it'll be a lot easier for her to be more accurate. So those are the things that I see when we talk about dropping the ball on a full speed run getting to cage. So let's go to question number 2. Let me pull this back up. Catching on the move while under pressure when I'm in a 1v1 situation, I tend to tense up. Okay, so it's a very common thing. Here's a quick little thing that you can do. More wall ball, okay? So we need to play more wall ball, and we need to get really comfortable with the ball coming at us fast. Now, when the pressure comes in, which we'll show you in a second, is mastering catching the ball with a little bit of pressure. You have to kind of simulate that. You have to get in practice reps. You need to be cutting continually. So we're gonna go to the wall really quick to show you a couple of different things that you guys can do on the wall. Okay, so we are at the wall now. There's a couple of things that I would like you to try to help build your confidence in catching. That kid is screaming right there, but that's okay. So there's a couple of things. Number one is get really comfortable with throwing the ball a little bit harder, okay? You could add in some movement. There's some stuff on my Instagram page that you could check out. And then we're gonna get Patricia in here in a second to provide a little extra pressure to help me get used to catching with pressure on me. So here's number one. I would say you're gonna just cradle regularly, right? Catch, cradle, right? Just like that. And again, don't worry about the drops. Drops happen, all right? So we're gonna throw it, and we're gonna kind of like just pick up the speed. And depending on how close you are to the wall is how fast you're gonna throw that ball, right? So we're there. The other drill, that's just like a regular catch and cradle, right? The other one is just like quick sticks, right? And just really work on getting soft hands off of the throw. Now you see how I dropped it right there. Oh, now it's gone through from, it's gone, it's just gone. Now, with quick sticks, we're really working on soft hands and really giving with it. I think this is such a great drill, oh snap, to do when you're working on your gives and having soft hands to catch. If you're not working quick sticks and working at a very high speed, it's very hard to catch that ball. So we're gonna bring Patricia on over. We're gonna leave that ball there that we just lost. She's gonna come over here. Now she's gonna provide a little bit of pressure. She's not gonna use her stick. She's just gonna push me just a little bit when I'm catching, okay? So just right here, she's gonna push me a little bit, and she's gonna add just a little bit of resistance, and I gotta keep my composure, and I gotta be able to catch. Notice how I'm catching on this side of my body. I'm not letting it come this way, okay? So that's level one. She's just gonna add a little bit of resistance, and she's gonna just be pushing me so I can focus on the catch and really just grow my skills. Now, if she pushes me too far and then the ball hits me in the face, well, we'll have to watch out for that. Now, level two, she's gonna grab her stick, and she's gonna have her stick out in front of me, essentially just like this, just a little bit, not too much. And this is, again, gonna train us to focus on the catch, even under pressure. So she's gonna be a half step behind. Let's make it like more game-like. She's gonna have her stick right here, and just a little bit of a press on my arm right here. Boom. And so her stick's right there. I see her stick, but I'm focusing on the ball. And again, I'm just focusing on getting that catch, right? And staying composed under pressure. Now, you can do this with a wall like this, or you can do this with a rebounder. So, get out to work, get a parent, get a brother, get a sibling, get a teammate, and get to work like this. But start with, your just basic catches, work at your speed, work at your catching, work at your gives, and you'll get it eventually. All right, so question number 3, knowing when to cut and perform certain dodges and moves. When I'm around the 8, I don't know when to cut, and when I'm going in for the cut, I almost get lost. I lose focus on the ball and just focus on getting through. When approaching a defender, I don't know which side to go or what move to perform. Okay, so with that, first off, I don't think that's like a specific skill, kiddo. I think that's experience. So what I would encourage you to do is play as many games as you possibly can. Not necessarily like games and tournaments and things like that, but try and get some pickup games in. Talk to your coach, hey coach, can we set up some pickup games? Can we get some people to scrimmage, right? Because really what you need is the experience of more games so you get more reps doing it. So I would encourage you to stay away from like full field stuff. I would encourage you to do half field stuff so you can get multiple reps and stack those things. But let's talk about some of the things now in terms of that experience. audience, let me just coach you up for a quick second. All right, so let's just say me and my teammate Patricia, and we'll have the camera guy scoot back in just a little bit. Let's pass the ball over here. Me and my teammate Patricia are on the field, right? And I'm on this elbow, she's on that elbow, and I'm maybe trying to time my cuts. And let's maybe say I'm trying to time my dodges. Now, where can I dodge? I think there's 3 good places to dodge from on the field, especially in women's lacrosse: the crease, the wing, and up top center, okay? So when do I dodge? Well, that just depends on what you're doing in the play or in the set and what your teammates are doing. If you have a majority of people on this side of the field, I'm probably not going to dodge into, you know, double teams, triple teams, unless you're trying to set up a draw and dump. I would move everybody off to the weak side of the field so that I can have space to dodge. That's number 1. Now let's talk about cutting really quick. Now this is, again, we got to spend a little bit more time to talk about dodging and cutting and all that stuff. So let's just say, when do I cut? Let's say Patricia's over there again. She's my teammate, right? Now, if you're running a motion or a set or a specific play, it sounds like you're running a motion or a set, you gotta kind of have to survey the field. And the biggest thing that I tell my athletes is keep your head on a swivel and see 2 to 3 plays ahead. So let's just say I'm waiting for my time to cut, or I'm looking at the ball, we're swinging the ball around the field. Patricia cuts down towards cage. Okay, should I go right then? Maybe not. Now that she's cleared through, maybe I have the opportunity to cut now. So those are very important concepts, is keeping your head on a swivel, seeing when your teammates cut, and then look for the gaps. Kind of have an idea in your mind of what the defense is gonna do. If Patricia cuts through, if they're playing man, they're probably gonna follow her all the way through, which creates a little bit more space for me to get through. So there's 4 concepts that you should keep in your mind. Number 1, especially if I have the ball, I am the dodger. Number 2, I want to cut through. So let's just say me and Patricia are on the same squad again. Okay, and I'm gonna move down here. I'm the dodger. I want to create a little bit more space. So Patricia's gonna come to the wing. I want to create space to dodge this way. So what is Patricia going to do? Well, she's gonna cut through, all the way through. And the reason why she's gonna cut all the way through is now she created all that open space for me right there, okay? So now I have that. The next one is I'm looking for any cutters from up top. Do I see any cutters coming down that I can give a pass to? And if there's no cutters, then I'm maybe gonna go into my dodge, and I have the space to go this way, or I have the space to go that way, okay? These are very simple, you know, things to do. And then say if everything gets cut off, right? The defense slides, you get your first slide, your second slide, your third slide. Now I can move the ball from the strong side to the weak side, hopefully. The strong side, we have multiple players, majority of players, okay? And then that's the weak side, we'd probably have like 3 or 2 players or something like that. And the goal with that is to get a man down situation. So anyways, we'll talk about that in another video. But those are the 3 things that you asked London, and I hope that's super helpful for you, and then to all the other girls and guys out there that struggle with these same skills. If you like this video, go ahead and like it, leave a comment if you like, and then subscribe to it. We're gonna be producing a lot more videos just like this. I wanna thank Patricia, totally awesome job. Seth on the camera, you can't really see him, but we'll put his picture in there somewhere. Give a nice little picture right there. And then let us know what you want to see next. You know, we do this video stuff for you. We want to create awesome content that goes behind the scenes and gives you so much good, valuable information. All right, till the next one.